and that's exactly what's going to happen. Because right now, can you give me a Joel, the 3rd chapter?
There. Yeah, I'm already there.
Con, that's the spirit. Get that,
you want to start from 9?
Yeah, start at 9.
Joel 3 and 9. It's proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near.
Right, and that's what we're doing. We go out there and prophesy and tell you, look, the Middle East, that stuff is not going to get better. It's going to get worse. And watch, they're going to end up shooting missiles over here. Now, we're not over there directly telling the Gentiles themselves, but the scripture says prophesy to the wind. And when that prophecy goes out, it doesn't return void. You know? So go ahead, Doc.
It's like it says, prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
Yep. Hey, that's what's going on now. You got, it's either Iran or Afghanistan that's starting to make trades with the Ishkarites down in Mexico. And they're giving them all kinds of guns and stuff, you know? But really, it's for the Gentiles, because a lot of those Arab nations and the Persians, man, they didn't have no type of nuclear weapons. Now they got all kinds. That's because Russia's backing them up with that stuff.
I want to say this too.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's worried about, you know, well, America most specifically, and International Atomic Energy Agency. They've been watching Iran, saying, oh well, you know, with their nuclear program, it looks like they're trying to develop a weapon. But the thing about it is, who cares whether they develop a weapon? They're juiced in with Russia. Russia's juiced in with China and Pakistan. And at the end of the day, they don't even have to make a weapon at all. They're going to be able to receive a weapon whether they make one or not. You know, so just like you were saying, man, look like everything is, the stage is set.
Yep. And there's weapons that those Arab nations and those Russians have that we don't even know about, that they keep under lock and key. You know, those are some of those pruning hooks.
Russians said it.
Yep, those are some of those pruning hooks and plowshares that are being beat right now by these heathen nations.
That's a good point. You know, because another thing with that scriptures, you know, it's showing how people are shifting their focus. Because a lot of these people come from countries where, you know, they might be what they call a subsistence agriculturalist, or like, it's almost like a sharecropper.
Right.
You know what I mean? You grow what you need, and then if you have a little bit of excess, you take it to the market, and, you know, you make your money like that. But now they're moving away from that, and they're understanding that, look, man, because all the countries in the Middle East, they know of the Arab Spring, and they know it's contagious, and they're getting ready. So they got that spirit on them. Let's get prepared. They got that. Everybody got that war spirit on them, man. You want me to continue?
Yeah, keep going all the way down. Let's read a little bit more.
It says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together around about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
Right, and that's exactly why he calls it Jehoshaphat, because that's where's the Most High's judgment's going to be. He's going to have all them heathens come around, and especially those Arabs right in that Saudi Arabia area, that peninsula right there. He's going to have them sit at a big-ass round circle of war, and he's going to judge them. You know, he's going to judge them. He's going to destroy them. Because right now, they're fighting over a land that don't even belong to theirs, man. You got the fucking Arabs and Edomites fighting over the Israelites' land. The Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. The Hebrew Israelites. So the Most High has to judge them. You know, he has to judge them for what they're doing in our land. The stuff that they've done to us over history. When you read up in that Joel, the 3rd chapter, it tells you that they cast lots for our people. It sold a girl for a harlot. Or sold a girl for wine and made a boy a harlot, I believe it says. You know? Yeah, can you give me Ezekiel 35? Ezekiel 35 and Start at verse like 7.
It's like 5.
Yeah, start at 5.
It says, Ezekiel.
No, start at 7. Start at 7. Yeah, start at 7.
This is Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 7. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men. In thy hills and in thy valleys and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword.
Right, and Mount Seir represents the so-called white race. Alright, the word Seir, when you look it up in the Hebrew, it means hairy. Alright, and that's where the Edomites and Esau used to dwell. Alright, he says he's gonna make y'all most desolate. Like it says, can you give me that Malachi, the first chapter? Malachi 1 and 4, they shall build.
This is...
Cause you Edomites, man, you're real proud, man. You just destroy shit. You had a show called Build and Destroy, and all you did was build stuff and destroy it. Oh, now these Edomites, I think it's on. It's either History Channel or True TV. These Edomites, they got a show called Sons of Guns.
I've been watching that.
You've been watching it?
I've been seeing it for quite some time. It shows you how really what Esau's blessing is. Man, they'd take all kind of guns that don't belong on a person's hands, like tripod guns. And then they'll adjust them and set them up so that you can have it. They made a shotgun with a damn silencer on it, like the nigga had what's that movie? No Country for Old Men. And it's funny because when you look at it, the old white dude came in there, he asked for this shotgun to get modified to have a silencer on it.
Wow.
So they said, why would you want something like that? And he was like, and you knew he was bullshit. He was like, yeah, for hunting. You need a silenced shotgun to hunt with.
Right. That's crazy. Who hunts with a shotgun anyways?
You about to hunt Jakes.
Right, exactly.
That's what that's for.
That's why, see, these Edomites, they like to make everything else desolate, but they don't want to be made desolate.
But you know what, he's bullshit like the brother said, because when you put a silencer on a weapon, it decreases the accuracy. So I mean, that's a horrible fucking hunting weapon, man.
On a non-accurate weapon.
Right, a non-accurate weapon. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a close-up weapon. You know what I'm saying? A shotgun, you have to get up on somebody within roughly like 20 feet. You want to hit them with the buckshots to really hit them. You're not hunting with a shotgun.
Right.
Man, that's how you know they're getting ready for these race riots.
Right.
This is Malachi chapter 1 verse 4. It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh had indignation forever.
Ooh, read that one more time, Mark.
This is Malachi chapter 1 verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down.
Hey, that's what's going on. Not only here in America, but it's going on over there in the Middle East. They're trying to build up them impoverished places. Going back to Desert Storm, Saudi Arabia never used to look like that, man, until they bombed the hell out of it. But now they're trying to call themselves to build up the government and stuff like that. They're going to build it up, but the Most High going to throw it down when they all get gathered to the Valley of Jehoshaphat. And he judged their ass. But keep going on.
And they shall call them the border of wickedness.
Right, and everywhere they put their bases, you got these Arabs calling them white devils, man.
Right.
Every time they lay down their bases, they know they wicked, man. And then when they they got up and so-called left out of Afghanistan, you have tons of ammo left over there, tons of needles and shit. They left a bunch of shit over there, man. Wherever Esau's been, you can see, man, he lays his tracks. He lays his shit tracks behind, man. That's why the Most High said, keep going.
Oh, I just want to say one thing also. I was talking to the other brother on the phone, and he made a good point. He was like, man, anytime Esau goes somewhere, he'll go to a country where, they follow strict Sharia law in Islam. And by the time they leave, they'll have hookers on the point outside. They have all kind of fucking genetically modified fruits and vegetables out there. It'll be all kind of fucking around to be abortion clinics and shit. Like wherever Esau goes, he'll just turn your country upside down. It'll be homosexuals. You're in a country where that shit was never even, you would never even believe that they would have some shit like that.
Keep going, the last little bit. That's all good.
It says, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever.
Yeah, that's right. And go back to Ezekiel. Indignation forever. That indignation means righteous anger forever, man.
So the Lord is not dealing with Esau, period. There's not no special Edomites that's going to come out and they're going to make it, or the Lord is
temporarily grafted in.
Temporarily grafted in Esau, or for example, Cornelius is an Edomite and making him, he's a how you going to be a devout Edomite?
Right.
You know, so that's, you know, stupid shit like that, man.
Or even if he was Japhetic, man. How many times do you see the Japhetic people getting delivered in the scriptures compared to the Israelites?
See, you know, Cornelius was called the just. And if you read Matthew's the 13th chapter, even in the parable, it'll tell you, you know, we're gonna sever the, you know, the wicked from the just, man.
Yep.
So it's plain, but you know, you got simple ass niggas out there, man.
It says, this is Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 7. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men. In thy hills, and in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers, shall they fall that are slain with the sword. And I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy city shall not return. And ye shall know that I am Yahweh, because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas Yahweh was there.
Right, and that's why I said they fighting over a land that's not theirs, man. It says these two cities and these two countries, talking about Ephraim and Judah, man. It's talking about the house of Israel and the house of Judah, the northern and the southern kingdom. Back in 1948, when they said they so-called fulfilled prophecy.
Right.
That's bullshit, man.
Right.
Number one, if you fulfill prophecy in 1948 and the Jews were placed back in the land like the scripture says, that means Yahushua is supposed to be down here ruling. And where are the rest of the tribes at, man?
How come we're still at war?
How come you only if they're the real Jews and the Jews come from the tribe of Judah, where are the rest of your brothers at, man? How come you don't got the rest of the tribes inside the land with you?
Well, how come the world is still at war, man?
Yeah, why is the war still at? Yeah, exactly.
Just period, man.
There's gonna be peace on earth when we get put in our land. Right now they fighting over that land, man. It don't even belong to theirs. And niggas still think that the homeland is Africa. That's bullshit, man.
Right.
People fighting over our land and our people don't even know it.
Right.
Go ahead, read verse 10 one more time, Mark.
It says, because thou hast said these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will even do according to thine anger and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them. And I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee.
Right, because we're going to be, the scripture says in Psalms 110, we're going to be willing in the day of the power, the people shall be willing in the day of the Lord, so to say, you know, meaning we're not going to have a choice. He's going to use us to execute judgment here on earth once he gives Yahushua the green light. Go ahead.
And then and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies, which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying.
Right, hold that, and give me Revelations 2 and 9. Another blasphemy of them say they are Jews.
This is Revelations chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works, and the tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
Right, it's talking about them fucking Jews, so-called Jews fighting over our land and living in our land today. Calling